Commander Hicks had the nerve and the audacity to tell me not to get political. I don't know how in the world you not be political down in here. I want the Stover family to know one thing. I am so proud and I am so honored to be around here to talk about your ancestors. Because let me tell you something, Bob Stover don't just represent himself. All you commanders know that when you got this pecan tan, that you represent all of us. Black folks earned a place of honor and dignity in that war.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And I hate to say it, I know I've got some of my Yankees around here today, but I'm going to have to whip on them a little bit anyway. So the shoes get a little tight, boys. Just remember, I got the Confederate honor guard around here and some of them got pistols. You know, the question was asked, did Bob get forced to go? Let me tell you something. Bob was just like a lot of folks who looked like me. When that war broke out, his master came and told him, said, Bob, I need you to go with me. Where we going, master? We're going off the war. And we may not make it back. And I need one of my most trusted souls to come go with me. Bob said, I'm already packed when we leave.
Right.
Didn't he?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, you can talk about what he did when he was in the war. I'll tell you one thing, when General Lee needed his mules to roll and his horses rolling, and when General Forrester needed him to go across that river, Bob Stover was right there with the rest of the teams moving the horses.
Yes, sir. Right.
Somebody told me today that some scalawag said, why are you over there in the cemetery? Let me hold this piece for 1 minute. Don't y'all run off with my flag now. I got to get ready now. I'm getting ready to take my wig off, baby. Some scalawag said that, why are you over there in the cemetery with that stone and honoring that black Confederate soldier? Miss Clara, let me tell you something. I am so proud of the ladies of the OCR and the UDC. These ladies had to fight a war of their own around here.
Yes, we did.
See? Now, I know some of my Yankee friends around here in the blue today don't want to hear what I got to say, but I got to say some of these things. So I don't want you to forget. Because both been running around here in the Southland of America since 1861 to try to do everything they could do to divide and separate black folks and white folks in the Southland of America. Can I get an amen? Amen. Came around here and established the public school system in 1865, told all the little white babies that their family members was traitors and rebels. Told all the black folks if they wanted you free, they'd set you free. If their religion was any good, they'd set you free anyhow. Right. Nobody talking about the complicity of the federal army and the federal government. Now, if I get too political, wink your eye, Brother Hicks. I can't see good, though. I ain't got my glasses. Everything. Establish that public school system over there and begin trying to dumb down our babies. Right here in the 21st century, we face the same thing.
Right.
I got to talk about some of these things. Baby, look here, if I don't call out your ancestor's name enough, just wave your hands, because I don't want to forget you. Because we're here to memorialize it. And in his memorial, folks have to face the truth.
Right.
They have to face the truth that there were black folks who earned a place of honor and dignity beside a man he not only called master, but a man he called family and friend.
That's right.
Yes. Was he forced? Yeah, there was a lot of black folks forced to go serve in the army. My Yankee friends came down here with their bayonets and their guns, and they drug black folks out and said, you want to be free now, you're going to be free now, you're going to build some roads, and you're going to serve the Yankee army. Wow. Put guns at his back, put him at the front of the line. Use his wife as concubine while he sat on his seat, on his backside. A trail of black women followed the Yankee army in ditches. They talk about the trail of tears. Should have seen all them black women laying in ditches where they'd been raped and killed following that Yankee army, starving.
Right.
Hope I ain't getting too political. Okay. Now let's talk about being captured by the federal army and wearing this pecan tag. Y'all know I'm a card-carrying member of all the white trash too, so don't forget about that. Right? I got me a time machine too. All you pretty girls, if you see a man come back around here doing this here, you know it's me here. you was a black man and you got captured by the federal army, there was two things they told you. The first thing is this here, boy, before we kill you, we're going to give you opportunity to get out of here. All you have to do is sign the loyalty oath. And get Bob Stover refused to sign the loyalty oath. Bob Stover said, I'm staying with Master Stover. I'm not going anywhere. How can I go back home and tell Mrs. Stover that I signed the loyalty oath and left her husband over there when she told me, Bob, keep your eye on him. Take care of my husband. Watch his back. And she knew he would. Bob Stover represented a lot of conversation around here in the Southland of America between black folks and white folks that my Yankee friends don't want to tell.
Yes.
You know, I took up Commander Atkins. I read some of these Yankee historical books because, you know, I wanted to know what they were saying. I am so surprised, Commander, at the distortions that go on in that book. Oh, they talked about Abraham Lincoln and how he wanted to abolish slavery. Abraham Lincoln told those black folks, and especially that one, the Douglas, who kept coming into his office. Yeah, well, perhaps y'all always been free around here. But as long as you got the color of your skin like this, you need to get out. You'll never be equal to the white man in America. We got some place for you to go now. Send a bunch of them off to an island and they died. Don't put that in history books. They even formed the nation of Liberia. And Lincoln told them you need to get. And then this historian had the nerve to write, well, you know, Mr. Lincoln wanted them free so bad that he just had the 13th Amendment printed up. Well, come on, let's examine that lie. Let's look at that 13th Amendment, the original 13th Amendment. While Buchanan might have helped orchestrate it and signed it, Abraham Lincoln, when those men decided that they'd had enough of the stealing and the cheating and all that money being drug up out of here, then it was time to go, and they left Congress. And there come old Lincoln with that supposedly 13th Amendment. I'd like to refer to it as the Corin Amendment. Hey, let's call it what it was like when it was, historian. Am I getting too political? Oh, she. I get nervous when I see you walking around like that. Oh, okay. I'm just getting ready to really get started. I see Commander Morale. You know, y'all let me know. Let's talk about that Corin Amendment. Here's the man that they presented to me as my emancipator, who told the men of the South, if you'll come back to Congress, we don't want to do anything about your slaves. You can keep your slaves. Right here on this amendment, it says that if you ratify it, that Congress shall never have the ability. Where y'all going? Y'all ain't leaving, are you?
Yes.
Well, God bless you, darling. We're glad you came. Told them, you shall never have the ability to write an amendment to free or end slavery. But this is the man who's supposed to be my emancipator. A man who is willing to write an amendment to keep me in slavery forever. Forever. Now, it's hard, Brother Dennison, to come down in here and be the keynote speaker to talk about anything Confederate and not be a little political, brother. It's just so hard. And it's, you know what? Let me tell you something. See, I try so hard not to beat up on my Yankee friends too bad because they start leaving the cemetery on you and all kinds of things. Look at you real funny. But I don't know too much good to say about them. I just having a hard time with it. Everywhere I look, I'm having a hard time with it. And in the time that I'm having hard, Reverend R.L. Dabney from Prince Edward County, Virginia, in a letter to the Yankee General Howard over at the so-called Freedmen's Bureau, told him, said, look, don't start down here treating these black folks wrong. We want you to do right by them. Because you already done said that some southern folk done beat them and whipped them and worked them all day and killed them. So you got all the money now you do right by them. And let's not start doing some of the things you're doing already. We know about your vagrancy laws. A black man can't even leave his house at night and go to the store without one of your henchmen stopping and saying, boy, where you going? What you doing? And if he sounds like one of them horses and he cough a little bit, he find himself working for the company store. Pay the man a penny a day and charge him $3 a day to live. That's slavery all over again. You know the thing that hurts me the most, and I'm so glad to have these pretty black ladies down in here today, so I can tell them about the place of love that exists here in the Southland of America. You know, I wonder why these folks talk about the South all the time. They have nothing good to say about black folks and white folks in the Southland of America and their relations. The kind of love that Jesus Christ talked about around here. Down in here in these cotton fields and bean fields and sugar fields, a man called master and a man called slave found the love of Jesus Christ for each other. Right. Found it right here. But don't let my Yankee friends tell you about it. Every time, you know, listen. I remember going down into Knoxville, a young white boy by the name of Tommy DeFoe. Been expelled almost as many times as Candace Harvey got a lot of South Carolina. Every day he'd come to school, have on his big old battle flag, a buckle belt. Principal tell that boy, "You're expelled, go home." Come back the next day, he got on one of his Confederate t-shirts. Out of here, he expelled the boy so much his daddy finally decided, well, maybe we ought to just sue these folks. Little young Tommy made a mistake. The judge said to him, "Well, boy, why don't you tell us why you keep wearing all that Confederate stuff? What was all that war about?" Little young Tommy said, "Well, it was about states' rights." "What you mean, boy, states' rights?" "Well, when the government was formed, the federal government wasn't supposed to have all that power. You can't take away the rights of the people. Come down. It wasn't about whether the South wanted to keep slaves or not. They didn't want you telling them what to do."
That's right.
The way it was supposed to be. Now, see, I want you babies to start reading about Jefferson and Hamilton. You got to read about these folks. When you start talking about why history is so boring, I don't want to do history, you better do it. Because if you're around in here, today you're having all that fun, a lot of smiles going around. And I want all you babies, when you go past my table down there, pick out a t-shirt and thank the ladies from the Order of Confederate Rose for them. As a matter of fact, ladies, please stop. Let me hold it. Hold that from there again. I ain't gonna quit talking about my ladies. I want you to know today that the ladies of the Order of the Confederate Rose has made old H.K. Edgerton an honorary life member around here in Tennessee. Boy, I'm one happy thorn. Yes, I am. And I want y'all to know that my mama, the only black woman to ever receive a Confederate state funeral, has a Heritage Award in her name by the Order of Confederate Rose annually. Y'all give my mama a hand, too. I just start cutting up, but you know, Commander Hicks, he didn't tell me how much time I had, so I think I'll take another 2 hours. I know it's getting hot. I know it's getting hot around. You see, black folks have become the weapon of choice. Not have become, it always has been since that war began, the weapon of choice against the Christian white folks in the Southland of America. If you let her fight, I don't get back to Tommy DeFoe. There they was up in the courthouse, and he's still talking about his thing and his love for the South. And the principal from Knoxville High School got on the stand. And they say to the principal, "Well, have you had any trouble around here before with that boy?" "Well, no, none." "Well, I did have a black family that came up from Louisiana. And the mama told me," she said, "now take care of my babies." Well, one day he walked out there in the hallway after they put up on Tommy, and there was a great big old battle flag, and it had a big sign that said, "Heritage, if not hate." So the principal told the judge, "That's when I found out that my little white babies was presidents." I thought to myself, what? When I walked through the state of Louisiana, I got to brag a little bit now, y'all. Y'all know I walked to Texas. 20 miles a day, 6 days a week, 3 or 4 times my little brother whipped me and made me do 40 or more. We went through Louisiana. And that was the past commander of the Sons of Confederate Veterans over there, Chuck McMichaels. Had all these folks following us. Black ladies was spotted. They were so pretty. I had my eyes on 2, 3 of them. I think I left one of my eyes down there. Followed us all the way to the cemetery. To the graveyard, just like we're in the cemetery now. To the grave of Levi Carnine. Said to me, H.K. Levi Carnine, you're walking in the steps of Levi Carnine. All those Confederate soldiers gave him their money and letters to take home. He walked through enemy territory, knowing full well if he got caught, what might happen. Couldn't be a black man walking around with a Confederate uniform on. Now, here I am listening to this man talking about the black Confederates in Louisiana. Remembering all those black folks who stood around Levi Carnine's grave in Louisiana. Remembering all those black folks who had come out in Louisiana telling me about their families who had earned just like your family. Where that other pretty girl go? Where'd she go? Where your cousin go? Hey girl, don't be hiding around here. I need to see your eyeballs while I'm talking about you. I see you hiding. Don't you be hiding down there. How come you didn't make her sit in my green chair with you, baby? I'm thinking to myself up in that courtroom, you know, them little black boys could have brought that flag up there and hanged it across the rafters. Proud of their heritage. And I'm thinking also that the principal need an English lesson because the sign said heritage, not hate. And then he said, well, he lived up in the woods, you know, Tommy lived way up in the woods. Had to take 2 buses to get to school. My family don't hate colored people. Oh, what did he say? Listen to what he said. He said colored. No, he's a racist. What the judge said. I mean, what the attorney said. I looked at the boy real baffled. Now, these babies don't, I don't want to tell that girl right there what year I was born in. When I was born, it was proud. My mama told me, she said, boy, you was a handsome colored boy. You got a job to do. And then one day, somebody decided, Mayor, well, we don't want you to be colored anymore. That's improper. You got to be an Afro-American. I said, well, okay, I'll be an Afro-American, even though I've been colored Negro all these years. And then one day they said, wait a minute. You're not Afro-American anymore. Jesse Jackson don't like that. You know African-American. Can Joe, I told him, why don't y'all just call me Frankenstein and get it over with. What we doing around here?
Come on.
What are we doing? There I was, the president of the NAACP. Don't nobody whip me about that now. Sitting over there at the National Convention. The boys are sitting around there shaking their heads, saying, oh, Lord, what we gonna do? We're getting ready to go broke. We're the oldest civil rights organization in the country. And one of my Jewish northern white friends with them pretty shoes, I think it was alligator, but he wouldn't talk about it. He got up and he said, we don't have to go broke. This is our organization. And I thought to myself, white folks own this organization? Because I saw so many on the board. I'm sitting up there, I was thinking that all the time. Lord, there's a lot of white folks on this board. I thought the NAACP was a black folk organization. Well, that's what I was thinking. And my friend said, you don't have to go broke, we got plenty of money. But we need for you to do something for us. We're tired of sending our children down to schools like Ole Miss and listening to that band playing Dixie. And we're tired of sending our corporate workers down south looking at that rebel flag. Now, we as white men can't go down there and attack that flag. We don't want to stir up nothing with them rebels. All you got to do is go down south and say slavery. And them black folks down there don't know anything about that war, and they don't know anything about themselves. Meaning that they don't know about the complicity of the federal from the north in the economic institution of slavery. Not one African ever saw this flag when it pulled into the ports to drag all those Africans out. It's flying the stars and stripes.
Right.
And all them boats was owned by Yankees. So they went into a back room. came back with a resolution. And the resolution said that the Confederate battle flag was an evil, odious blight on the universe and needed to be gotten rid of because black folks had no part in its inception or its defense. I thought the boy had some of that crack cocaine up there. I told my vice president, we got to get out of here. Because if my mama know I'm in the building with all this kind of talk going on, I'm in trouble. I don't know how mama found out. By the time I got home, mama knew about it. Mama said, boy, if you want to still be president of the NAACP, you better put that in the round file. In the round file they went. Because I didn't want to mess with my mama. Oh, Lord, she pulled my ear about 95 years old. I remember one time, she told us, she said, y'all did something down there. Miss Smith done call me. Go outside and get me a hickory. Oh, Lord. I went out there and picked one of them things, you know, about the littlest thing I could find. Something looked like this here. She had all her babies standing up there in a row. Mama worked this thing to a toothpick. And when she got through, she said, now I'm going to get mine. I thought the girl was Paul Bunyan when she drove that thing in there. Oh, Lord. So what Mama said to me, she said, boy, you don't deal with that. Now, a lot of folks don't want to talk about Martin Luther King. Andrew Young came to the city of Asheville, did the keynote speech for the 100-year anniversary. I hugged his wife. You know, I had to hug the girl. She looked good. He came out and I said, oh, excuse me, Mr. Young, I'd like to ask you a question. So I'm going to ask you one. You've been out here flirting with my wife, haven't you? I said, man, I don't know. I hugged the girl. Yeah. What would Martin Luther King have said about the attack on the Confederate flag? He said to me, ask me that question when I get through with my speech. And I did raise that hand. Now, I think some of my pompous black folk friends didn't like the question. I saw him pointing at me. Dr. Young said, Martin Luther King had been asked before by some of his loyal lieutenants, Jesse Jackson, and even Reverend Abernathy, to attack this flag. And Dr. King said to him, leave it alone. Far too many people, red, yellow, black, and white, died under that flag. If you attack that flag, the dream that I had, that one day the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners sitting down at the table of brotherhood, you may take that table, that chair, and slide it up under the table because there'll be no brotherhood. Amen. Amen. Martin Luther King. He knew. I wish he had talked to me before he had that staged Atlanta boycott. I'd have told him it's like this here, let's go over and see George. I'd have knocked on the door, George Wallace, and said, you know it's time. They didn't have to have that woman come down here from Detroit, Michigan, and act like she, well, I wonder where that boy is who refused to give her the seat. You know, I'm going to tell y'all something. If you knew all the things that I know, I wake up in the morning saying to myself, please, my black family, don't continue to be duped by this thing. Come on. Dig for the truth. It's out there. Yes. When this war was over, the Sons of Confederate Veterans had their own magazine they published. They were talking about building houses for those folks who were Confederate veterans. They said, let's build some for our black Confederates. They've been around here with us forever, working together. The hell with the Indians, excuse me, ladies, what they said. They've been giving us trouble all the time. The one thing that resonates for me in all these gatherings, dear, where your sister at? What's she hiding at? Are you hiding that, girl? Hold on your head up while I'm talking to you. Oh. The one thing that resonates when you go to a Sons of Confederate Veteran meeting, or United Daughters of Confederacy meeting, or the Honor of Confederate Rose meeting, the one thing that always resonates is the love that existed between black folks and white folks. Everybody got a story to tell. Everybody. You know, I told what I was standing on the corner in Hickory, North Carolina with my flag. They wanted to take down the sign, the welcome sign that had the Sons of Confederate Veterans on it. I was standing down there looking real pretty. I was, ladies. This car drove up, 2 black girls was in it. Looked at me and said, boy, what you doing? You getting ready to get a whipping around here, because if them white folks see you around here with their flag, they gonna whip you. Same thing happened to me 2 weeks ago. I'm up in Cortland, Virginia, Hampton County. And then you know in Hampton County, that's where they had a slavery vote, one of the very few slavery votes in that time. And here I come, Commander, I already done been hugged. I'm standing on the side of the highway with my flag. Look, man, we'll be with y'all right away. Don't y'all get too impatient back there here. Y'all know I'm long-winded when I see all these pretty women around here. So I'm standing on the side of the road, and I saw a car go by with 2 black women in it. They go back again. And then some of the Sons of Confederate Veterans and some of the Order of Confederate Rose ladies show up in the UDC. And so the girls drive in the parking lot to me and say, boy, get over here. You gonna get hurt. Do you know where you are? You're in Hampton County. Them white folks gonna kill you. And one of them said, yeah, I see already, done took his flag from him. So you better get in the car with us. Well, I went to work, Miss Clara. You'd have thought I was a PhD. I went to talking to them ladies about my flag and my Southland and the love. And them folks over there of mine. I said, boy, you out your mind. So I went over there and said, I'm here, y'all. And they all just hugged on me and kissed on me and went on. I looked like Bozo the Clown when I went back to the girls. I'd already invited them to have one of my t-shirts. Said, boy, we ain't wearing that shirt with that flag on it. By the time I got through them, said, give us 2 of them, and do you have 3 extra ones? It's hard for my babies. They'll leave here, they'll be happy. Be a lot of smiling, Brother Tennyson, a lot of hugging. These babies will see the flag, they'll be getting my ink pens and my t-shirts and putting them on. And then they'll go to the schoolhouse. My little baby girl right down in Columbus, Georgia, on Cultural Diversity Days. All she wanted to do is put on one of these pretty period dresses and sing Dixie. The black assistant school principal, Dr. Hayes, said, oh no, we ain't gonna have that down here. The poor little white principal was so shaken up. Maybe we better not do it, baby girl. The baby girl wanna know why. She's 10 years old. Say singing Dixie will offend somebody around here because the words in Dixie are making a derogatory remark about the way black folks speak. What did you say? What you talking about? I've been singing Dixie ever since I was in elementary school myself. We used to sing it every morning with the Lord's Prayer and sometimes the national anthem. So that they had a school board meeting, one of the school board members and the principal and the assistant principal. The baby girl pulled on her daddy and said, Daddy asked her, what are the words? Show me the words. This baby girl was proud of her daddy. He just made camp commander for his camp. The state convention gonna be held in their hometown. The baby want to know why. What words? What are the words? She asked the principal, please show me the words that offended to these children. Matter of fact, show me the words that you talking about. She refused to answer. She refused to answer. And the school board said, no, we ain't going to have Edgerton around here singing Dixie with you, and we're not going to have you singing Dixie. Now, can you imagine what's in that little baby girl's mind, that little 10-year-old baby girl? Here's the thing for me. I've been in civil rights most of my life. Co-founded the Black Student Center at the University of Minnesota. Sit on the Board of Regents. One of the key things was getting the university to get rid of its gold mine in South Africa when they were trying to free Nelson Mandela. President of the NAACP, vice president of the NAACP, represented a bunch of businesses, minority business, doing business with the Department of Transportation. All the time I've been so. And it bothers me deeply to see my black family duped so bad. To see how folks try to use us against the Christian white folks in the Southland of America. The only man that ever cared for the African people was a Southern white man, period.
Come on.
Still, period.
Come on.
You think I'm lying? Get on a bus and go to New York City. Okay, if you don't want to go to New York, then go to Chirac. That's what the little black boys call it now in Chicago. Chirac, can you imagine that? I'm so proud of Bob Stover. But because of Bob Stover, I can talk about all the black folks who earned a place of honor and dignity under this flag who look like me and him. I am. When the women over in Pulaski, Tennessee, home of the real Ku Klux Klan started in Pulaski, Tennessee. But when those ladies of the UDC and the Order of Confederate Rose start marching around those fields, they found all those black Confederate soldiers and told the federal government, send them an Iron Cross. And the federal government refused. Said, we ain't sending no Iron Cross to no black Confederates. There wasn't no such thing. They were not soldiers. I want you to go see if you can go find Holt Collier, dig Holt Collier up, and see what he tell you about that. Right. Polk Henry. Dig him up. Jefferson Seals. Dig him up. A black man built a spiral staircase in Montgomery, Alabama. Bill Bridges for General Lee Army. I'm not talking about some old rinky-dinky bridge. I'm talking about a bridge that will bring horses and cannons and soldiers across it. A black man. Just like Bob Stover. They have stripped us of our place of honor and dignity here in the Southland of America as Confederate soldiers. The History Channel called me up one day and said, HK, we want you to do a reality program for us. Then they messed around and looked at that book that my brother published with all those black folks hugging on me when I walked to Texas. And then they looked at that video with all those Christian white folks talking about the love of black folks and white folks in the Southland of America. And they said, no, he ain't a buffoon. We may not do that. That's too controversial. Huh? How can I be too controversial armed with the truth? It's easy to go home, y'all, because you had a good time today. But I want you to know, you face Southern social cultural genocide. And please know that on that list is Jesus Christ and the Christian Bible.
Yes. Yes.
Right here in the Southland of America, the Christian white folks would build places so black folks would come and listen about Jesus Christ. They didn't know about Jesus Christ. Right down here in the Southland of America, they learned about it.